weekend, family, decent gathering in the grass banks, enjoying the cricket, enjoying the weather, and enjoying the sixes.
He bowled out. The death, you need someone who's in rhythm. This can be a gamble. That's also because Amit went for runs, right? So he had to turn towards someone else. One. That's of well, does Huda.
Off cutters into the pitch to the left-hander. They're forward. I think with the way he's holding the ball, that's a suggestion that he's going to be much more. On that occasion, it was full. Probably not the slow ball. A bluff being delivered by Huda. And certainly the length was excellent where Praveen Gupta could not get underneath.
Yeah, 2 wickets were pushed for Kumara, but the thing is he's already bowled out. So it's imperative for the American strikers that Huda starts off well. So far, so good for Huda. Waited for the slower delivery. And once he picked the slower delivery, you had to go a long distance to pick the ball up.
Just set up very nicely to Praveen Gupta. But a player who's been striking it well, he was superb with his stroke. And a massive gap between deep square leg and deep mid-wicket, and he saw the gap in it, perfectly placed in between.
Would be a wide delivery because he was dancing down the track all right, but in straight lines.
Close call, close call. The replay will tell us the story, but understand why the umpire gave it. It could have been marginal.
Clobbered and out of here. That will have a dent on the side screen, and it's a reminder. Don't bowl there.
Nervous looks out again. She's not happy. This was a good shot. Played on the up. Picked up the slow ball early. Straight as an arrow. Into the side screen it goes. There you go. She is not happy. The lucky charm for the strikers.
These 3 days, or maybe 4, we've seen the whole spectrum of emotions from one person. Got him this time. The perfect comeback, the perfect reply. Minimum damage to the set of stumps, maximum damage to Gladiators.
A very good comeback. Perfect Yorker by Huda. Anticipated another slow delivery, I thought. Praveen Gupta is waiting for it. It was set up nicely, but it was a perfect bluff by Kuldeep. He made sure it was seam up, right on the money. Probably a bit of inside edge to disturb the off stump, but in the end, Huda had the last laugh after being smashed for a couple of sixes. Gupta, important contribution of 30. Gladiators 160 for 5.
Suddenly it has started to pour. Oh, the Gladiators on the cusp of the rain gods deciding.
ये अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगी।
नसों को शांत करता है।
अब मैं ठंडा या गर्म कुछ भी खाती हूँ, मुझे बहुत मजा आता है। Sensodyne works.
Brought up in the UAE, South African parents. Dougie Brown made the introduction to Warwickshire County Cricket Club. My goodness, has he got his work cut out for him now. Just 20 years of age. And has a job to do to stay with Sam Hain. Who unerringly finds the boundary on the leg side. 8 runs and a wicket from the over, 48 for...
आइसक्रीम खाने से मुझे दांतों में बहुत झंझनाहट होती थी। मुझे लगा ये अपने आप ही हो जाएगी, पर ये पीली गई। फिर मुझे मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों की ऊपरी परत के घिसने से मुझे नसों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी। उन्होंने रोज सेंसोडाइन यूज करने की सलाह दी।
सेंसोडाइन दांतों के अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत करता है।
अब मैं ठंडा या गर्म कुछ भी खाती हूँ, मुझे बहुत मजा आता है। सेंसोडाइन वर्क्स।
Well, Durham very much in control at the moment. Hain to worry about. And a new batter at the crease, facing up to Souter.
That was so good from Ben Rain. One-day cricket we watch around the world and are lucky enough to commentate on. At times bowlers don't target the stumps. You know, batter sometimes gives you the stumps. You don't have to do it all the time. But I thought that was a really good example. Perhaps bowlers targeting the stumps more.
Well, I mean, it was a terrific over. He started off slower ball, slower ball, slower ball, and then just went to the seam up Yorker. Barnard showed him his stumps. He said, I'm good enough to hit him. I think he was actually done, Barnard, as much by the pace on nature of the delivery as the fact him. Seen slower ball, slower ball, slower ball, and then just a regulation pace delivery full and missed it.
Oh, South! Somebody that South!
It's absolutely unflappable. Sam Hain, carnage at the other end. He just continues about his business. Robert Croft next to me just compared him to somebody like Scotty Scheffler. Nothing bothers him. Footwork's a bit better, mind. That one will get through and run away to the boundary. Nine gone, 54 for 4.
पहले मैं जब भी आइसक्रीम खाता था तो मुझे दांतों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी, जिसकी वजह से मैंने आइसक्रीम खाना छोड़ दिया। मैंने सोचा कि अपने आप चली जाएगी, पर ये बढ़ती चली गई। तब मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों के ऊपरी परत घिस जाने की वजह से नसों में झंझनाहट होती। उन्होंने सेंसोडाइन रोज यूज करने को कहा।
सेंसोडाइन दांतों के अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत करता है।
अब मैं कुछ भी ठंडा या गर्म बेझिझक खा सकता हूँ।
You don't know who Scotty Scheffler is, do you?
I thought he was in American Pie.
Shot. That's a terrific shot from Kai Smith. And the gap beautifully between extra cover and mid-off.
A bit of sanity.
finds the gap. His favoured leg side, Sam Hain. Rain again, just mixing up the pace, not giving batters a great deal to work with. Oh my goodness. Turned at our end down here at the pod, and the fielder almost would not have imagined that that there was two there. And he would have made it even with a direct hit. That's extraordinarily quick running. Hain continues on his merit. Halfway point, Bears still struggling, 65 for 4.
पहले मैं जब भी आइसक्रीम खाता था तो मुझे दांतों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी, जिसकी वजह से मैंने आइसक्रीम खाना छोड़ दिया। मैंने सोचा कि अपने डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों के ऊपरी परत घिस जाने की वजह से नसों में झंझनाहट होती। उन्होंने सेंसोडाइन रोज यूज करने को कहा।
सेंसोडाइन दांतों के अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत करता है।
सेंसोडाइन वाकई काम करता है।
It's a little bit of a partnership. Hain 25, Smith 11. It's been all. Parkinson in particular picking up 2 wickets, and he's back into the attack.
Brilliant, Callum.
It's getting worked into the leg side. Be looking to create a bit of a pattern now. Probably bowl at Smith.
Hold, Callum. Brilliant, pal.
Yeah, very much. There's time for the Bears here. When you know the rate that Sam Hain can
Hit hard. They're pushing for 2. There's a good early call. Square's quite big. You can skid the ball.
See between the sixes as well. So you can accumulate pretty quickly, the odd boundary here and there, and then
Nice, Parky.
just open up a little bit, go at 10s, 12s towards the back end, and get yourself a defendable total. But you've also got that slight knife edge where you've got Garton's coming next, but that, mentioned before, that tail of the Bears is relatively lengthy.
Brilliant, Callum.
And they are the Bears. I've got into trouble already, Crofty. Called them the Birmingham Bears earlier.
Oh.
They're not the Birmingham Bears anymore. They're just the Bears. No location, no county or city.
Well,
Great set, Cal, great set.
that's 1 in anybody's money. 11 overs gone, 71 for 4. Other Bears.
They keep mucking around with this. Went from Warwickshire to the Birmingham Bears, and now they're just the Bears. Seems strange not to give them some.
पहले मैं जब भी आइसक्रीम खाता था तो मुझे दांतों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी, जिसकी वजह से मैंने आइसक्रीम खाना छोड़ दिया। मैंने सोचा कि अपने आप चली जाएगी, पर ये बढ़ती चली गई। तब मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों के ऊपरी परत घिस जाने की वजह से नसों में झंझनाहट होती। उन्होंने सेंसोडाइन रोज यूज करने को कहा।
सेंसोडाइन दांतों के अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत करता है।
अब मैं कुछ भी ठंडा या गर्म बेझिझक खा सकता हूँ। सेंसोडाइन वाकई काम करता है।
It's a big unit, doesn't he?
Oh, he's massive. Looks he's built like an Asgardian. The other bowler he could turn to is the one who's got the best, statistically best bowling figures in T20 history, which is Colin Ackerman. I think Mark Butcher was on commentary that day. 7 for 14, I think it was.
Flipped away, straight to the man at short fine. Well, you get a big lad in Aldridge coming in. You'd expect him to use the leg side more than the offside by going into the pitch. You can see those boundary riders out on the leg side there, more than the offside. Well, he's angled it in. I'm surprised he's going to full, actually. I think there's still an opportunity here because the way the wind is blowing across the ground, the big leg side boundary, the batter is hitting into the wind. If you go into the pitch, you'd be hitting into that wind. So use the big boundary square. That's it. Has he got enough of it this time? No, just goes to show it's such a big hit. They'd be looking for 2.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head, and it almost paid off. Banging the ball from that tall height of his into the surface. A bit clanky off the blade. And you've got 2 fielders out in the deep waiting for it. I think it's a far better option for him.
Particularly to Ollie Smith. I mean, to Ben Rainey it could be more difficult. Up and over the offside. Will it go for 4? All right, well, they're running for 3. And they get home. Bit of a correction there. I said Ollie Smith. It should be Kai Smith. And Kai in Welsh's field. We've got a Kerris and we've got a Kai.
Well, he's hit it nicely across the Kai there. Have I used it right there, Crofty?
Yes, you have. You've done rather well. Well done. It's just that period now, Daggers, isn't it, where it's that knife edge moment. Which way are they going to go? At what stage are the Bears going to have to throw caution to the wind? Because they're tinkling along at 80, just under 80. 8 overs to go. What's a score that's competitive? They're going to have to get north of 140. Pulled away. Has he found the gap? Oh, yes, he has. Sam Hain, he's in the form of his life. 12 overs gone, 83 for 4, the Bears.
आइसक्रीम खाने से मुझे दांतों में बहुत झंझनाहट होती थी। मुझे लगा ये अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगी, पर ये बढ़ती चली गई। फिर मुझे या गरम कुछ भी खाती हूँ, मुझे बहुत मजा आता है। Sensodyne works.
T20 cricket on this good surface, and it is a good surface. I think being 4 for 3 sort of doesn't really tell you the story of how good this batting deck is. And I think they can go at 10s, 12s. Still got to be looking at 160.
Oh, well bowled. Oh, what a beauty. It's the style of bowling that Souter does day in, day out. Mid-crease, just gets that side spin on it and just angles it with some drift in towards off stump. And Smith is nowhere near it.
Well, it was mentioned by Nick Knight earlier about the underrated nature of Nathan Souter, and he's been a good one for a good while, and it almost accelerates as it hits the surface and it goes through Kai Smith. Too quick for him, and that partnership, which had looked good for 40, has been broken. End of Kai Smith. He goes for 17 from 15, and the Bears are 83 for 5.
Yes.
आइसक्रीम खाने से मुझे दांतों में बहुत झंझनाहट होती थी। मुझे लगा ये अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगी, पर ये बढ़ती चली गई। फिर मुझे मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों की ऊपरी परत के घिसने से मुझे नसों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी। उन्होंने रोज सेंसोडाइन यूज करने की सलाह दी।
सेंसोडाइन दांतों के अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत करता है।
अब मैं ठंडा या गर्म कुछ भी खाती हूँ, मुझे बहुत मजा आता है। सेंसोडाइन वर्क्स।
Got to be able to bowl an over, come off, come on in 3, bowl another over, come off for 2, and that's the way you have to be flexible, and at times you have to be inventive based on the batters you're up against. So we've got George Garton into the arena, powerful hitter, very quick between the wickets, and a different proposition here for the leg spin bowler. Oh, that was close. And I think this will suit Souter, because there's not a lot of spin bringing it back into the left-handed batter, but there's on the drift going away.
And that, now with the left-hander at the crease, does bring Colin Ackerman into play, should Alex Lees want to turn to him. 2 right-handers and the off-spinner might not necessarily have been his go-to, but now you've got a lefty in there as well. It just gives him pause for thought if he wants to use another spinner.
Well, especially when you look, Nisham's gone at 15 in his first over. Aldrich has gone for 12. I think Hayne is setting himself up here. He's setting himself up for the last 5 overs, but he's going to need other batters to hang on in there with him, that's for sure. I wonder if batters these days can actually go back a gear or 2, or do they have to keep playing in 5th? Hit hard up and over extra cover. And there was a salmon leap in extra cover, but not able to get it. Terrific shot there from George Garton. Alex Lees, even though he's a big man, couldn't reach that one.
This has been thundered away. Just dropping a fraction short. Quick hands. Despairing dive, but to no avail.
Hit hard again through the offside, finds the gap, but it should only be 1. And that's 13 overs gone, and the Bears are...
पहले मैं जब भी आइसक्रीम खाता था तो मुझे दांतों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी, जिसकी वजह से मैंने आइसक्रीम खाना छोड़ दिया। मैंने सोचा कि अपने आप चली जाएगी, पर ये बढ़ती चली। तब मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों के ऊपरी परत घिस जाने की वजह से नसों में झंझनाहट होती। उन्होंने सेंसोडाइन रोज यूज करने को कहा।
सेंसोडाइन दांतों के अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत करता है।
अब मैं कुछ भी ठंडा या गरम बेझिझक खा सकता हूँ। सेंसोडाइन वाकई काम करता है।
Don't think they're on a mission from God.
Well, yeah.
But just saying about, I think it depends. You're talking about going up and down through the gears, and I think it depends on the player. And you look at someone like Sam Hayne, and I genuinely believe he is one of those players that can do that. A more classical type of batter, can read situations well. And the ultimate sort of up and down the gears man is someone like a Joe Root. Great sort of 3s and 4s that can just move up and down and read the situation, what the team needs from that particular player at that particular time. And what the Bears need right now is Sam Hayne to be there when there's 1-2 overs left.
And I think it comes down to those guys in the middle. Together, the guys have already been out there having a conversation about what do they think is a good total to give them a chance of winning. Because if they say, well, actually, do you know what? We need to get 180, 190, then going down the gears is not feasible. But if they say, well, give us a chance of 150, 160, then you do give yourself the opportunity to drop a gear. So it comes back to that old, I know it's old-fashioned, because every player you play with say that 400's a great score, but sometimes it's a little bit less. Nisham into the attack. Swing and a miss.
And the modern player and the way, and sometimes there is something in the old-fashioned Crofty. The modern player wants to go hard at all times, and sometimes you do question it and you think, well, does the situation need it at that particular time? The other thing the Bears will be looking a little more positive on is the performance of the spinners. from Durham. The spinners, as they go for a quick one, shy at the stumps. A fancy Hayne might have been home, but Souter and Parkinson have extracted a little something from this surface, and when you look at the Bears with Moeen, with Jake Lintop, with Danny Briggs.
Well, just picking up on what you said there about the spinners, just look how dry those foot ends are there. That seems to have come on quite quickly through the day, because when the guys have had a look at it, I may be clutching at straws. However, that is, look at his foot goes through there, the dust that's rising.
Well, it's a used surface. This is the one they used for the one-day international between England and the West Indies a couple of days back. It is breezy out there.
Swirling around. The pitch is... The wind is going straight at the bowler now. Oh, it's whipped up. It's gone a long way, and it's got pace on it. It's come at the pod. And thank goodness for the cushions that have kept it inside. 4 more to Hayne.
Well, a few more opportunities to wave the placards from the Birmingham faithful. See the wrist work, the bottom hand that goes into that, turning it into space.
Oh, bit of luck. Is there a bit of luck that gives him 4? Well, I think he's earned this. Sam Hayne has been imperious for the last 2 days of cricket, and he's played so many great shots, he's earned a little bit of good fortune, and he's loving it.
And all Jimmy Neesham can do is smile, resigned to the fact he sees another one going to the boundary. He's been expensive today, this time maybe the moral victory, but it adds to his tally on runs conceded.
Oh, up and over. Oh, I thought it was going to go over extra cover, but it hasn't. And Jimmy Neesham has fought back really well after the ball before. Maybe a bit slower, and it goes to the captain, Alex Lees, and Hayne has got to go.
Well, as frustrated as he would have been the ball before, he'll be at the opposite end of the spectrum in this one. Straight, middled out to Alex Lees. A yard either side, it might well have found its way to the boundary, but Neesham has made the breakthrough. The important Sam Hayne wicket has been taken, and he goes for 45 from 28, and the Bears in real trouble at 99 for 6.
आइसक्रीम खाने से मुझे दांतों में बहुत झंझनाहट होती थी। मुझे लगा ये अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगी, पर ये बढ़ती चली गई। फिर मुझे मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों की ऊपरी परत के घिसने से मुझे नसों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी। उन्होंने रोज सेंसोडाइन यूज करने की सलाह दी।
सेंसोडाइन दांतों के अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत।
ठंडा या गर्म कुछ भी खाती हूँ, मुझे बहुत मजा आता है। सेंसोडाइन वर्क्स।
From all different angles.
It does tend to do that here at Edgbaston. It can be forgiven. Well, it's blowing one way, but it actually, out in the middle, it really does swirl, and you can get gusts. Not easy from a bowling perspective, especially a seam bowling perspective when you're running in.
Game known for his bowling, not so much his batting.
पहले मैं जब भी आइसक्रीम खाता था तो मुझे दांतों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी, जिसकी
को शांत करता है।
अब मैं कुछ भी ठंडा या गर्म बेझिझक खा सकता हूँ। सेंसोडाइन वाकई काम करता है।
Franchise, he's one of the ones that he gives absolutely everything on the field, can change a game in a heartbeat as well.
Souter to complete his set of 4 overs. He'll just be hovering in and around there, not looking to give Garton too much room. Garton will be looking to help it on its way over the offside with that side spin that gives a little bit of drift. Oh, that looked like the googly, and it was a lot straighter, and Garton spotted the line and he capitalised on it.
Well, 100 brought up. And it's come flush out of the middle. I actually think he caught a bit of ground with this as well, Garton. Maybe, maybe not, but it doesn't matter how they get there, as long as they do, if you're a Bears fan.
In and out.
Should be 2 for the Bears. And it is. Yeah, the ball before was just a smidge too straight. Yeah, there are 3 boundary riders out on the left. But these guys hit it so hard. Once they get the angle they want, fielder's got no chance. Cut away again. And this looks like it's been hit like... It's only 25 yards for him, but no chance.
And it's a rare mistake from Nathan Souter. It's width this time, which George Garton can latch onto. Rocks onto the back foot, and there's a big space for him to wallop it into.
Oh, that looks close. It looks like it's straight. Change of field there. Deep point that got straighter. Extra cover had gone squarer and encouraged that reverse sweep. Bowler ahead of the batter.
Yeah! 4-2-4. And right in front, trapped in front, picking the ball to do. And that weren't it. And Nathan Souter, he is a very... in T20 cricket, has been for a long time. He picks up his second. Garton trudges off. The Bears at 109 for 7.
पहले मैं जब भी जनाहट महसूस होती थी, जिसकी वजह से मैंने आइसक्रीम खाना छोड़ दिया। मैंने सोचा कि अपने आप चली जाएगी, पर ये बढ़ती चली गई। तब मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों के ऊपरी परत घिस जाने की वजह से
Side was encouraging the reverse sweep, and Garton took the bait. Lintott picks up one. There's a little bit of hesitation. 15th over, the Bears 110 for 7.
पहले मैं जब भी आइसक्रीम खाता तो मुझे जनाहट महसूस होती थी, जिसकी वजह से मैंने आइसक्रीम खाना छोड़ दिया। मैंने सोचा कि अपने आप चली जाएगी, पर ये बढ़ती चली गई। तब मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों के ऊपरी परत घिस जाने की वजह से नसों में झंझनाहट होती। उन्होंने सेंसोडाइन रोज यूज करने को कहा।
सेंसोडाइन दांतों के अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत करता है।
अब मैं कुछ भी ठंडा या गर्म बेझिझक खा सकता हूँ। सेंसोडाइन वाकई काम करता है।
The home side there. Established batters are all back in the hutch, so the hopes now ride on Danny Briggs, Jake Lintott, try and get them up to some sort of defendable total. At the moment, current run rate, projected total, get them up to 146. Just feels simply won't be enough on this sort of surface. To give credit as well to just how well Durham have bowled. The spinners I think have been outstanding. Callum Parkinson particularly in the power play, and then Nathan Souter, as we see so often, just coming into the middle overs, picking up wickets, being pretty economical as well.
got to say, Liz, I still can't quite work out how Bears got themselves into this much trouble. First 3 wickets were gimmies, weren't they? And you're battling from there. 4 for 3, the score. It's a long way back from there. Hayden did his best to try to lift them to some sort of respectability. But as you say, it's the spin twins out there in the middle that have got to try and get them to 150, you think, to have any sort of chance.
Yeah, and they'll be keen to do that as well, because they will, without a doubt, play their part with the ball if they do get up to a respectable total. Danny Briggs over the years has been leading wicket taker in T20 cricket. He had an outstanding season last year, 29 wickets. Jake Lintott at the other end as well. At the moment, they both find themselves with bat in hand. Pace off. You're right though, Butch. I think you said it earlier. It was one of those games that you used to play as a child. You get out first ball and you say, I wasn't ready for that. Let's start again. Just all happened so quickly.
Can I have another go? Yeah, it was not good, not ideal. But as you rightly said, a lot of credit must go to Durham, Parkinson, folks in the power play started well. The Bears contributed hard to their own.
Briggs and Lintott play this. Will they be content the next couple of overs? Just trying to milk it around and then perhaps have a bit of a dabble the last 2. Miles to come. Adam Sylvester as well. Jimmy Neesham at the moment, so 16 overs gone now, 117 for 7.
पहले मैं जब भी आइसक्रीम खाता था तो मुझे दांतों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी, जिसकी वजह से मैंने आइसक्रीम खाना छोड़ दिया। तब मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों के ऊपरी परत घिस जाने की वजह से नसों में झंझनाहट होती। उन्होंने
One for 19 for him so far. Keep her up. Oh, punch down the ground. Did wonder how close that was to Ben Ray, but didn't seem too. In that return catch. Have a look, see how close this was. Probably
Maybe a telescopic arm and he might have got it. Borrow one of Jason Holder's.
They seem content at the moment, just with.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just take what you can get and then get to 19th and 20th over and try to go big. Same delivery twice in an over. With him, it's the pace on delivery that you need to look out for. He's very often a lot of slow balls, lots of in the full pace delivery. Stump's always in play. Keeper up. Very handy operator. Short form cricket.
Oh, parry. On its own, it was a good situation. That mid-off was up in the ring. He's just parried it past him and just allowed Danny Briggs to come back for two. Unfortunate.
I think they ended up getting... Yeah. Unfortunate interception.
Nice, Ben.
At the moment, just ticking things over. 8 from the over, 125 for 7.
3 overs left, plenty of options for the skipper Alex Lees. Rain all have one each. Folks, it looks like we'll bowl the 18th.
Nice piece of work in the work. Been good to see. Well, impressive to see Zach Folks and just what he's capable of. From what I gather, he was fast-tracked into the after a really good domestic campaign with Canterbury. What have you made of him, Butch?
Yeah, been impressed. He was made the ball bounce, a bit of movement. Bowled especially well at Tom Latham, a couple of deliveries that bounced and left him from around the wicket. Springy action. Very handy. Dominated the super smash, did he?
Apparently so. Good old Google. Just managed to scamper through. I think Dagger's mentioned it earlier. A lot of Smith has signed for Surrey this year, another seamer. Danny Briggs might need to change his spikes for the second innings.
He would have been out by a long way. Managed to get himself off the dry bit, the square. Gary Barnwell's tried to keep Edgbaston this year, as every year. We've got 14 blast matches and the test match, second test against India. So a lot of pitches, a lot of days cricket here, so trying to keep it as nice and plush as possible in the surrounding areas. Keep nice, hard, fast, bouncy pitches.
Well bowled. He's just been mixing it up nicely. Zach Folks, bit of pace off, but he'll be looking to complete his spell. He's been brilliant so far. He's only gone for 16 runs. He's picked up that early wicket as well. So Durham, you'd imagine, will be far. Early days, of course. Oh.
Unlucky there. Slow ball bouncer into the pitch, and it just bounced a little higher than he would have wished. See him dragging the hands down the side of the ball. Definitely wide though.
Another slower ball to finish the over, just a single as well. So really, his 4 overs, 1 for 18. Excellent day's work for him. 133.
आइसक्रीम खाने से मुझे दांतों में बहुत झंझनाहट होती थी। मुझे लगा ये अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगी, पर ये बताया कि दांतों की ऊपरी परत के घिसने से मुझे नसों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी। उन्होंने रोज सेंसोडाइन यूज करने की सलाह दी।
सेंसोडाइन दांतों के अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत
खाती हूँ, मुझे बहुत मजा आता है। सेंसोडाइन वर्क्स।
To be around for the whole of the Blast campaign.
You hear so often from players and from captains about the importance of the group understanding their role, and if you've got players, yeah, vital and important that you pick the right people and that you have them available for as much of the competition as possible.
In everything, and actually the options that he's picking aren't necessarily the worst ones. It's just the execution at the moment. It's letting him down. He's trying to get that really fine and actually try and beat third, who was just in. He's ended up cueing it.
Again, Rain just gets that Yorker in there at will. And when you consider the amount of times that he's running his hand over the side of the ball or coming out the back of the hand, when he decides to go see very often.
Well, that was a good strike, but just lands in front of the fielder out in the deep. Slightly frustrated with himself, Danny Briggs.
Came in at number 8, didn't he? It's
straight through. Ben Rain has been accurate and he has been wily as well with his, and he manages to pick up the wicket eventually, Danny Briggs. So another one to go now for the Bears. Durham will be pretty pleased with their work.
Sure what's coming down next. He has done the business once more. Lintott goes for 12, not a runner ball. It's 135 for.
दांतों में बहुत झंझनाहट होती थी। मुझे लगा ये अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगी, पर ये बढ़ती चली गई। फिर मुझे मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों की ऊपरी परत के घिसने से मुझे नसों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती है। यूज करने की सलाह दी।
सेंसोडाइन दांतों के अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत करता है।
अब मैं ठंडा या गर्म कुछ भी खाती हूँ, मुझे बहुत मजा आता है। सेंसोडाइन वर्क्स।
There's Craig Miles. 8 legitimate deliveries left now of this innings. What can they muster? Off the mark straight away. But Durham won't mind this one bit. They know that this is well under par here at Edgbaston. Batters now will be thinking about how they're going to be. Here's Graham Clark. No doubt we'll see them at the top of the order. Marcus North, main man at Durham. He'll be pretty pleased with what he's seen today. Well, that sounded really good off the bat. That will be 4 runs, so straight down the ground. Something for the home side to cheer. End of the 19th, 140 for 8.
आइसक्रीम खाने से पर ये बढ़ती चली गई। फिर मुझे मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों की ऊपरी परत के घिसने से मुझे नसों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी। उन्होंने रोज सेंसोडाइन यूज करने की सलाह दी।
अंदर जाकर नसों को शांत करता है।
अब मैं ठंडा या गर्म कुछ भी खाती हूँ, मुझे बहुत मजा आता है। Sensodyne works.
Jimmy Neesham to close out his figures so far. 1 for 31. Field, leg side field out. 2 out on the offside as well. Deep cover. Third and fine in the ring. Bit of a collision for a moment between Jimmy Neesham and the batter. I think he was interested in that the batter was running towards him and ended up colliding.
Well, Neesham didn't get to go for the catch. Briggs and Miles, as a result, then couldn't come back.
Oh, a bit of luck. Inside edge. You'd imagine for Jimmy Neesham as well, very much the same as Ben Rain, it will just be pace off. Perhaps cutters into the surface, judging by the field that's set leg side. Frustration for the Bears. You just felt, Butch, the turning point, but it was Sam Hain. He was going really nicely, 45 off 28. Perhaps closed out the innings. That 1-4-2 that we're looking at now could have been. Oh, this has got the elevation.
Well, Miles didn't get the distance. Off the toe of the bat. Neesham picks up a second. Aldridge judged it well, almost like taking the mark. The innings is ending with a whimper. Miles goes for 2. It's 1-4-2 for 9.
आइसक्रीम खाने से मुझे दांतों में बहुत झंझनाहट होती थी, पर ये बढ़ती चली गई। फिर मुझे मेरे डेंटिस्ट ने समझाया कि दांतों की ऊपरी परत के घिसने से मुझे नसों में झंझनाहट महसूस होती थी। उन्होंने रोज सेंसोडाइन यूज करने की सलाह दी।
वो शांत करता है।
अब मैं ठंडा या गर्म कुछ भी खाती हूँ, मुझे बहुत मजा आता है। Sensodyne works.
Vesta, number 11. Off the mark straight away.
Well, over to you, Danny Briggs. Can he find a maximum? He's looking around towards the leg side of the field. Sylvester's giving him some